Good morning, everybody. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I've already taped off the front of the last page, and I've wet my little watercolor set here, as well as the mucky tray. And I did this page without y'all, so we'll share that in a little bit. But I want to do both sides of this page, and I've got my heat gun so we can speed everything up. I just want to do just kind of, have you seen the rows of doodle trees that are kind of like on free-flowing hills, and then you doodle on them? That's what I want to do. Let's see if I can find a pencil to just put some light wavy lines on here. Morning, Janet. Scott's just left for work at 6:14. So he's left for work. So I'm going to do 3 and just gentle hills like that. And then maybe here. Well, that's not very nice. Let's try again. Smooth rolling hills. That's what we want. All right. And now I'm just going to use my brush and pick up just a little bit of my weird colors on my palette here. And go over, make this one like this kind of green. Just kind of fill this in some. All right. I just came on, Lala, so you're not late. You're not late. Maybe mix these two together and get a weird kind of brown color here. Just kind of give it a little bit of coloring in the background. These paint brushes are kind of not very good. I'm going to turn this around here. All right. Hi, JL. I saw your mini moo. Good morning, Melanie. So Scott fixed the truck. Greg helped him pull the drivetrain off in the driveway, and they got it fixed. So that's fixed. So I can go places now and not worry that I'm going to break down. I could have broke down because one of the U-joints was the little pin gears inside it. They were gone, and it was just full of rust. So it was good that we didn't take it on our little adventure over the weekend to pick up a used dust collector from a man's shop. He had bought a bigger one, and he's getting rid of this one, and he had started to take it apart. So he does have to fix it, but it's like a $600 or $700 dust collector, and we got it for $85. So Scott said he can fix it. So let's dry this a bit. if you dry the front and it starts to curl, put some heat on the back of the page and it'll get it to flatten back out. You cleaned up a bunch of stuff in your kitchen, living room, and dining room. It's becoming a real home again. I'm so proud. My bedroom studio area is still a hot mess. Well, baby steps, right? So I'm going to pick up a little bit of water and we're just going to put some random autumny colors down for some trees. So we'll just do the circle trees like that image shows, and maybe do another one down here that's a little bit different shape, and then maybe do one here, and see that color's not going to show on that background. That's okay. Then we'll pick up a different color. Let's see. Get some of this and mix it with this in here. Maybe put a tree that's like half on up here. One bite at a time. It's the only way to do it. Let's go back here. And Anne is traveling home today, back to Florida from visiting with her fam out in Colorado. So we'll get to hear hockey stories and how much fun they had at Thanksgiving. We went to see Scott's mom, and the whole time we were there, she was asleep in her chair. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. We'll see. She was telling us she's just tired all the time. Little tree here. Just to make these show up a little, I'm just going to add a little bit of variance to them. Yep, one bite at a time is correct. Ooh, boy, that was a special color I added. That'll be okay. Uh-oh. There's a hair that I can see coming off this brush, and it's driving me crazy. Thank you, Lala. We fear that we don't have much time with her. I'm going to put that under there because all my trees are starting to weep their leaves to one side. So let's see. Oh, that's that pink again. It looks red in the tray, but it's not. All right, I'm going to dry these, and then we'll add some tree trunks to them. Oh, that recipe is so easy. I think I shared the recipe on Facebook. It was so easy, and it was supposed to make a 13 by 9-inch tray of the stuff. And I knew the four of us, Scott and I, Greg and his girlfriend Rachel, I knew we weren't going to eat all of it. So I cut the recipe in half, which was pretty easy to do. I might get a smaller paintbrush. You just mix up the egg and the spices, and some milk, and then you mix all that up, and then cube the the bread. And so the whole recipe takes 12 slices. So I use 6 slices of bread, and I made it like a 9 by 9 square of it. That I think I have some left. I might have that in a little bit because I haven't eaten yet. But and then you just put it in the pan and bake it. It was so easy. So easy to do. I'm trying to find a real thin paintbrush. Like that one. Right there. And I almost dipped it in my coffee. It is sweet, and then you put maple sugar on top of it, but it's only on Sundays I do the special breads. So I figure on Sunday it's okay. So I'm just going to give these some little trunks. And I know in nature they'd be all different colors. But it's all right. Scott didn't want to get out from the covers this morning. He was so funny. He told me, I'm hiding. I was like, you are? He said, yeah, I'm not coming out. I said, you have to go to work. They'll be expecting you. And now, not all art has to be serious. You can play, and if these aren't perfect, it doesn't matter. You just got to do something fun. All right. Doesn't look too bad. And then we'll doodle on it, but maybe I will pick up some of this grassy green, and down here just do some little with some grassy greens. Just a few blades of grass, still holding on, saying, I don't want you to go to winter. I want to stay. Oh, we went thrifting, and I bought a bunch of used thermal blankets and comforters and stuff. And we have one like 30-gallon plastic tote with a hole cut in it. And I put some in there for the outdoor kitties. And then in Bernadette's doghouse, since it's there, I bought 3 throw pillows and I put those in there and a comforter and then a thermal blanket so they can get in there and, cozy in and at least have some shelter from the wind and rain, and they'll have somewhere warm to snuggle in. And I know a lot of places say don't use blankets because they hold moisture, but it's better than nothing right now. Yeah. And then we need a sun, don't we? Let's put a autumn sun up here. So we'll put the yellow, but then let's put a little orange too. So it's an autumn sun. And then just I don't want a harsh edge. Good enough. All right, so let's dry it and then we'll doodle on it and we'll call it done, and then we'll do the back side of it. All right, Lala, we'll be here. And I'm just going to doodle with Bic pen. I believe this is a piece of watercolor paper. And we need a quote to go across here on the bottom. So I'll pull those over here. These are my autumn quotes I have left that I put together. I like this. I noticed that autumn is more the season of the soul than of nature. Friedrich Nietzsche. Thanks, Melanie. So we got that. Let's see, that trip was, what day did we do that? That was Saturday night we went and did that. And of course, the day after Thanksgiving, the Goodwills always do 50% off. So everything was pretty picked over. We were going to go on Black Friday just to see, but the parking lot was packed. And after Thanksgiving's reaction to the crowd we had there, I said, I'm really not up for that. And Scott said, me either. So we skipped it that day. And then we went Saturday night after he'd been on the concrete driveway fixing the truck all day. Let's see here. I have a trash can. There it is. I've been going through scraps from Project Dress-A-Girl dresses, and I've divided them up by color, and I've been watching, I can't remember her channel. I don't know if she's Chinese, Taiwanese, Japanese, but she has a channel and she never speaks, but you can still follow along. But she does these where she's pieced things together, and then she does the most beautiful embroidery, like in simply a white or off-white thread, and then she makes a bag with the fabric she created, and it's so pretty. And I thought that would make nice Christmas gifts. I'm going to go ahead and put my quote on now. I'm going to cut this at we've decided for Christmas, we're just going to stay here at our house and not join any big family gathering this year. And I will cook. But if we get the floor done, I might offer to cook and have my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and his wife come here to eat. But we'll see. I told Scott I'm not going to pressure you to get it done. It's just not my way. And I'm just going to put circles on my trees in a sketchy kind of line. And then we'll just add some doodles. I know you guys have seen these trees on Pinterest or pop up on Facebook, but they just look like so much fun. I said, I want to do some of those little trees like that. I'll look at chat in just a sec. But yesterday we decided we wanted the day just for us, so we hung around here and we each watched videos, and then Scott said that he wanted to go to Northern Tool because they had the fitting he needed to grease the new U-joints. So we went out there, and he also was able to find some sockets to add to his toolbox that he's been looking for, and none of the part stores or anybody had them. So Northern Tool had the sockets. So if you have somebody looking for a specific socket or anything, and you have a Northern Tool and Supply or whatever it is nearby, they have a bunch. All right, and we'll go ahead and outline our words. Whoops. It's all right. And then I like to go along the tape. I might grease that because it's making it hard to do. And then we just got to add some kind of little doodling inside our little trees. So we could do just some little circles in here. Maybe some stripes on this one. Maybe we'll just do, and squiggly lines. And wavy lines down it. Oh, enjoy your walk. And diagonal lines maybe. And we'll see Janet in a little bit. And Freddie will be tired from his walk, I bet. And let's see. Let's do a dot in the middle. And some lines going out from it. Why not? Whatever pops in your head, do it. Let's see. Maybe just some dotty dots like that instead of circles. And this one, let's do some lines like this. And then maybe do lines that way, and then some this way, and then diagonally. Maybe some this way. There we go. I'm sticking my hand in the water on this and it keeps feeling wet, of course. Let's see here. Maybe just some curves. Circles in circles, maybe. Ooh, we need a round one. We'll do a spiral on a round one. Like those great big suckers we used to get as kids that would have all the different colors of candy kind of put together, and then, yeah, those were good. Maybe this one I'll do a dashed line down the middle, and then we'll do some more dashed lines. So I saw there's a girl in South Carolina missing. I hope they find her safe. This is a magical, mystical forest here. And you could come back and add like some white with gel pen or something if you want, but I'm just going to finish these doodles and then we're going to do the other side. Then I'll do a flip through of this journal. So let's see, what do we want to do? Maybe just some lines in like that on that one. And running out of ideas. Go back this way. That one looks like a waffle. Maybe put some little squares on it like waffles. Put some circles in there. And we'll zigzag down that tree. And then the last one we have here, maybe we'll put some leaf shapes on it. There we go. All right. And then I'll sign it here. And today is it's not November anymore. It's December 1, 2025. All right. So let's pull the tape off. Maybe I can reuse this tape on the back side. We'll see. That's the beauty of this kind of, whatever this top is on this desk. Things stick to it and then you can peel them back up. Oh, that one pulled a little bit of the paper. It happens. Is Heather here? Yep. Hi, Heather. All right, so there's my little forest of doodly trees. Come on, camera. There you go. So now we just have to do this back page. I don't think I did the internal page on that one, so we're not going to do it on this one either. So let's put our tape back down here. And maybe we'll just do a painty background and then stick a quote on it and call it good enough. We'll see. This one's not wanting to stick very much. And I just like to put this down to create a border on the pages because it gives it a nice finish. It really does. All right. Well, let's get the back with some color on it. I'll just use some of this mess that's on the table or on the palette thing. Uh-oh, got a little bit past my tape. Getting too aggressive and crazy. Pick up maybe some of these other colors and just create a... It's not like him being wet on this side as well as wet on the other side, but we'll dry it a little bit here. All right, and we'll dry this. I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to do a paper piece owl and stick it in here. So So that can be drying there. And we'll set the watercolors aside. And we'll just do a little owl to stick in here to finish off this little journal. So I'm thinking maybe we'll just draw a little owl shape on a piece of paper, and then we'll piece him, and then we'll just glue him in. So we are going to need there's some autumnal colors. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, there's an avocado. That would be random, wouldn't it? So we've got some blank paper here. Maybe we can draw our owl on this. And we'll just do a quick paper piece because he doesn't have to be real big. We'll just pull this off from here. And if I limit myself, then I won't make him too big. That's about right. And let's just do the round bottom owl that kind of just, you give him a round bottom. And these lines don't mean anything because we'll make him work no matter what. And then a little bit around here and here. And then give him his little hooty owl things out the top. And then we can do great big eyes. And his wings. And we'll draw his feet on. So that gives me kind of a goal here. So I want his eyes to be this cool kind of orange color. So we'll just cut some circles. Oh, that's too big. So we'll just trim it down. And this is what I do when I'm doing one of those animals that's paper piece that takes hours to do. We're just doing a quick owl. Still a little big. And we didn't get any pumpkin pie this year. So I'm going to make a pumpkin pie this week just so we can have a piece of pumpkin pie. I've got to run the vacuum cleaner around in my room. Okay, so we'll glue those down. Hi, Sophia. We're doing a quick paper pieced owl here. And I don't have a damp towel or anything in here to clean my hands off on. Right? Okay. Let's see. What else do I have in here? That's about right. So we'll just come down in here. And just kind of cut that shape out. So that'll be up there. And then before I glue that on, I want to go around his eyes. I should have glued his eyes down on something else, and then I wouldn't have to make open circles, but that's okay. A bit smaller. Okay. See, if I had waited to glue the eyes down, I could have just glued them on here, but I want these to be over the yellow. So let's see if we can do this. Let's just fold this in half and do a little snippety dip this way so I can get in there. And then we'll fold it the other way and do a little snip. Oh, I just finished up 2 more carvings ready for later this month. Need to stamp out a print for tomorrow later. First one is up and posted on Instagram. Yay! Trying to go bigger with the prints this year. They were all 4x6 last year. It was all I could manage in the time. No smaller than a 4x5. No, an A5 this year. It's around half the size of a letter size. So half of an 8.5 by 11. We know Safia likes to work large. Okay, and this will go on like that. And then we'll do it again on this one. It's not very smooth and round, but it's okay. Yeah. There's a saying, it's close enough for government work. Do y'all remember that saying? Oh, so those will go on like that, and then this will go across the top like so. And now we need to cut something for his body. Oh, this almost looks like feathers. Let's do this. I'm going to move that part of his eyes off from there for a minute. All right. Oh. I saw that Ginger Pam is on doing another junk journal work. I don't know if she's still working on a Christmas one. I didn't hang because I was going to come on and do my thing here. But I saw she's working on journal work again. That's okay. We'll just glue that to my drop paper. Okay. All right, then we'll put his eyes on, but I want to put his wings on first. Let's see. It might be time to do some more gel plate printing to have what I need for different things. I don't know if I've got enough here to do 2 wings. I think I do. So okay. Put this We'll get the opposite direction. Yep, go there. And somebody had asked for a flip through, so that's what we'll do here in just a minute. And the binding method is called the slip knot binding. If you look it up, there'll be a little diagram pops up, and you can just print it off and follow it. It was on Pinterest, if I remember right. I'm gluing. I'm committing these wings to this owl. So say I. Bye. Okay. It just feels like this wing is not quite how it should be. Let me trim a little bit off of there. There we go. That'll work. And don't worry about any paper because we're going to cut him out to glue him in. So it doesn't matter. Ah, thanks, Lala. So we'll put this. Oh, you know what we don't have is a little beak. He needs a beak. I'll cut a beak out after I get his eyes situated here. He's got to be able to say, ooh, ooh. And we got the sweetest thankfulness from my son's girlfriend. She said that she is thankful that we make her feel safe and in a place that she feels safe and can just be herself. And I thought that was really a nice sentiment. A lot of people are really invested in wanting someone to conform to their beliefs, and that's just not us. Everybody has their own beliefs, and I say if that's what you believe, so be it. But please, please don't dictate to how I have to live my life. I'm not dictating anything for you. If it brings you joy and happiness and warms your heart, you be you. I've got to get rid of this sticky because now it's sticking everything to me. I'll get a wet paper towel. That's what I'll do. That'll work. Hi, Piper. think the most important thing in life is to be kind and loving and just let everybody live their lives the way they want to, and do not cast judgment on someone. You don't know the life they've had to travel, and so you have no right to dictate or demand that they believe something so much. I don't want to get on a high horse. I just want everybody to be kind. That's it. My grandmother used to say, unless you've walked a mile in their shoes, you have no right talking to them about how they should be living. I need something for a beak. I would really like something yellow, but my papers are really... Ooh, what's this? Let's see if I can just eyeball a beaky thing to go right there. Might leave that corner just as it is, and then we'll cut. Uh-oh. Is that too long? It's too thin. That's what's wrong with it. It's too thin. Give me a sec. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Oh, I'm so glad. Let's see here. Well, glue is... I always want to say nose, but it's their beak. Their nose is part of their beak. And because you always want to put human traits on animals. It's like he needs eyes, nose, and a mouth. Well, his nose and mouth are all in one. So get over yourself, Becky. All right. So if I can find... Oh, you know what'll work? I might wait till he's glued down and give him the big dark pupils. And that way the glue that I use to stick him in the book won't reactivate the paint for his eyeballs. So now I'm just going to follow his leaf, his wing. Holy heck! Maybe I should go back to bed. Let's see here. I have so much to do today because we're supposed to get some pretty violent weather the next couple days with possible flash flooding. And some really aggressive rainstorms, according to the weather report. But you know what? I don't think these ones that are coming on now and doing the weather, they know anything about the weather. I think they're just throwing crap out because I don't feel safe in the information they're giving, because most of the time everything they say doesn't come to pass. And then when something really bad happens, we haven't been informed. Scary. Science, it's important. I'm just cutting along the paper piece sections now. So he's coming out. He's going to come off this paper and go on that paper. And then we'll give him some little feet. I should paint a branch on there for him to sit on, shouldn't I? All right, move all that mess out of the way. Then we'll have a little place to put a little sentiment there, and I'm just gonna, that did not glue together there. Let's try again. Oh. Bye, Sophia. Have a good Monday. Might see you later in our stitch time. Oh, you know what I forgot to do before I came on here is to pull a pork tenderloin out of the freezer that I had bought because it was on sale. I think that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. All right, I want to give him a little branch here at the bottom. So I'm going to get my watercolors back over here. And then I'll have to be careful how I glue him. These are still shiny, so we're good. Let's just grab some of this brown right here. Brown or green or whatever it is. Maybe this brown. But yeah, I think I need to run the vacuum in here to get up the felines additions to the room. And a major thing I got to do is change the litter boxes out because trash goes tomorrow. So I will do that. Maybe we can put one lone little leaf out here on the end. Still hanging on. I'll put three little leaves. There we go. Give him somewhere to sit that's pretty. I'll dry that a little bit because I want to be able to flip through this. Yep, it's going to be some nasty weather coming. That's why Scott wanted to get the truck fixed, because he knew he wasn't going to be able to lay in the drive for like the next 2 weeks, because it's supposed to be bad for 2 weeks. But on a bright note, it's the end of hurricane season, according to the weather people. It's ended. Woohoo! At least least until next year. All right, so there we go that. Well, I got my pen here. I could go around the edge. Oh boy. The last page in any journal is always hard to deal with, isn't it? Unless you work, one page at a time. And I can officially say we have completed this journal. That'll be nice. All right. I don't know if these are going to stick or not, but this is the Scotch permanent glue. So yay for permanency. Permanency? I'm making up words as I go along, apparently. Morning, Pam. I thought that little button book I came across where they made just the little windows and they put the buttons in it, I thought that was stinking cute. Scott always says there's no higher level to cute than stinking cute. So awesome. Oh, I love him. I'm glad he popped in my head. Sometimes you just have to listen to what pops in your head because he turned out so cute, if I do say so myself. All right, squish that down. And now we need brown for the middle of his eyes. Let's get the Sharpie. I love these Sharpie creative markers. If you haven't tried them, I mean, I have a Posca here, but I really love these Sharpies. And I love that the color's on the back, but you know what? I don't think there's a brown in these. I might have to use the Posca. I'll use the Poscas. That's a bummer. I thought there was a brown in that, but I guess not. And I let the paper do most of the work for me. So let's do who's cuter? No one. Whoops. All right. And just give him a little. Oh, come on. A little glint there at the bottom of his eyes. So, I'll stick him there. And then we need one of our quotes. Let's see what we got left. Falling leaves hide the path so quietly. Autumn whispered to the wind, I fall, but I always rise again. Okay, I don't care for either of those. How about autumn kissed the earth and suddenly everything felt like home? That sounds good. I like making up these sheets. I guess I need to make up a sheet for Christmas quotes that everybody could use. You stick them up, you print them on sticker paper. So then all you got to do is pull them apart and use them. We'll switch to a longer. And then we'll do our flip through. I guess I should dry this a little bit, make sure that Posca is dry once I get the quote on. And now I'll have to put these remaining quotes into my binder of my Bits and Bobs binder so that I'll have them for next year. I don't know why I stick these down on my drop paper. It's just natural. It's a place that they can stick and stay. It doesn't matter. All right, this is the author's Aurelia Leafsong. So we'll put her name right there. Maybe we should straighten it up a little bit. And the Tennessee family ended up having to go back early because heating in their camper thing. They have one of those big campers like Tanya and her husband have. And the heat wasn't working. And it was way too cold. So she had sent me a message, though, that she was really appreciating the top I had made her. I need to eat. I'm shaking because my blood sugar's too low. Oh, that's on his face. I don't like that. Well, it's a done deal now, I think. Well, I'm going to leave it. I'll go around his eye, maybe. And we'll cut this apart so it's a little bit smaller. So it says, Autumn kissed the earth, and suddenly everything felt like home. And that, y'all, is the end of this journal. So now we'll do a flip through. Oh, first we got to take the tape off. And this tape has seen its last use. So we'll throw this in the trash. And I got to sign this page. And I just love making journals and then leaving a border. Because doesn't it look cute? And you can also come back and where you've had lines that you did multiple lines. If you do a little squiggle, it makes it look like you did it on purpose. That was a purposeful thing. And then I'll just put December 1st, 2025. All right. And I think it's going to be okay. All right. So we got to flip back to the beginning. Whoop. And we started this journal in 2024. and I didn't get it filled last year. So I found it and I said, let's fill that up this year. So we've been working on this since October, I think, of this year to try to get it filled up, and we're done. We still have our 5x7 journal that we need to finish up. I think we've got 2 more front and backs to do on that. So we'll work on that some on Wednesday. Maybe we'll finish that one on Wednesday. So let's do a flip. And I think that year I wrote most of the quotes. So we started this September 17th, 2024. And we've done watercolors on a couple pages. And this was from my Bits and Bops packages. And that was from the orange pocket. Another watercolor, and another Bits and Bobs, but this was from the red envelope. And that was that year's mandala. And then this was a page I did with Mary as a Pick 7 last October. And apparently I used my Bits and Bobs a good bit on this pages. So there's that one. Doesn't like to focus. And I found this in the stash, and I ended up putting glossy accents because the glitter was popping off. So if you've got something with glitter popping off and you have glossy accents, it seals the glitter down and it never moves again. It's stuck underneath it. Another Bits and Bobs. And this one we did an ATC and then just glued it in. So that's another way you can fill it up, is with just ATCs. You could even do a smaller journal that's just like that big and do nothing but artist trading cards, which could be a fun thing to do. I could see doing artist trading card swaps for instead of Christmas cards, because then you could put them in your Christmas card journal, which you guys know I do a Christmas card journal, but I'm thinking with postage being 78 cents per first class envelope you mail, which I think is nuts, it would be better to just swap an ATC in an envelope. So you're getting something that you can use as well as the card. Does that make sense? I don't know if that made any sense, but anyway. All right, so this was the last page, and this was from Happy Mail from Lucia McGill. And so this was last page from last year, and this is where we started in October. And we've been filling up pages ever since. And this was our little pumpkins that we made with just, I think we just drew out the pumpkins and then cut them out. That's what we did there. Bits and Bobs, things from my little binder. This was the pumpkin we did with the oval punches. These are so easy to make and a lot of fun to make. And then I saw this image on either Pinterest or Facebook, and I tried to emulate it, copy it, whatever you want to call. And this was just using up a piece of scrapbook paper that was already cut up, and I just glued it down. And that looks like it's all one picture unless you look real close. And then it's pieces of a picture. And I think it still turned out really cool. This was our paper piece turkey that I did on my own. And then I said, well, she needs to go in the journal. And then the bear page. I love it. And then I noticed it looks like he has a heart. The snow is in a heart. And I didn't notice that when I was using it. And I just love that. And then there's the mandala that we did together. And I've added gold to this. I came back and put some gold to it. And then I did this one on my own on the 25th. And then today we did the trees, doodly trees, and the owl. And that is the end of this journal. And this is the slip knot binding. And it does look really cool. And you work it from your back cover and then you add your pages up. So if you wanted, you could just create your covers, do your pages, and then bind it. But the beauty of this binding is it lays flat. So when it's on the table, it's flat, which I really like that. So again, that was a page from today, and that was a page from today. All right, so thank you guys for hanging with me this morning. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday and that you accomplish everything you set your mind to. And I'll see you on Wednesday, if not sooner. I might do a small, Goodwill haul, because I did find a couple things yesterday. So I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.